Why would someone trade a car for a Pakistani-made wooden drum? Because they don't use synthetic wood, but rather a large tree naturally dried for years. The material is incredibly scarce. Only the middle part of the tree can be used. Before processing, the craftsman uses a compass to measure and marks out the design on the wood. 3 circles need to be drawn on top, with the center part to be hollowed out. After marking, the craftsman drills holes around the smaller circle's edge. All drilling is done by hand, so it's very time-consuming and labor-intensive. After a morning's effort, the wood is finally pierced through. Next, they use an axe to strip off the bark. Because the wood's surface texture is loose, prone to cracking and breaking, unable to withstand the drum-making processes, required hammering and vibrations. Then they carefully shape both ends, creating a beveled edge. Now it's time to hollow out the center, where the drilled holes come into play. They insert a saw blade into the holes and secure both ends, creating a handsaw. The 2 craftsmen work well together, and after an hour of effort, with just a gentle push, a complete wooden stump is pulled out. The rough shape of the drum is now visible. Next, they prepare for lathe turning, before which, the craftsman inserts a central axis inside to drive the rotation of the entire log. The installation requires skill, as finding the exact center is crucial, otherwise, the subsequent processing will be off-center. Once secured, they fix both ends of the axis, and the rotation method is quite simple. An electric motor drives a belt to spin the wood, with the craftsman manually controlling the lathe tool, carving away the unnecessary parts. To speed up the process, he first cuts several grooves on top, then uses a hoe to remove the protruding parts. The excess parts on the sides also need a groove cut first, then sawed off with a saw. Next, they use another lathe tool to finely shape the outer edge, making the surface smooth and even, until there are no imperfections. After a thorough inspection, they still need to carve a waistline on top, a highly difficult step, where any deviation of the lathe tool could ruin all the previous work. Throughout the entire process, the craftsman doesn't use any measuring tools, yet the carved waistline achieves a perfectly uniform effect, a truly astonishing skill. Though it already looks beautiful, it's still dull and lusterless. So the craftsman polishes it, then applies tung oil, which has excellent penetration properties, nourishing and protecting the wood, making it more durable and enhancing its appearance. After a series of treatments, the drum not only looks more perfect, but its quality and lifespan have also greatly improved. However, the interior still needs work, removing excess wood shavings to achieve a uniform thickness of the inner walls. If the drum walls are uneven, the sound produced when playing will be unbalanced. Finally, it's time to install the drumhead. The method of securing it is quite simple, using a rope to shuttle back and forth, connecting both ends with an extra knot tied at each crossover point. These knots are not only decorative, but also allow for adjusting the tightness of the drumhead. After 3 days, a handcrafted wooden drum is completed. Do you think a car could be traded for a wooden drum?